Try not to step on a cattail here. This is gonna be interesting. Can you eat later? Or maybe I'll move your food dish. How about that? Here. Look. Come here. I moved it. It's over there. It's over here. There you go, okay? Oy vey. Alright, so I'm looking like a pretty hot mess right now. You know what, I won't even say hot because that's complimenting myself. I look like a mess. I came on here even though I'm not looking that great. I haven't showered in a couple days. Disgusting, I know. I meant to today, but it's been a crazy day. Anyway, I don't need to make excuses for myself. Not wearing any makeup, obviously. I always state the obvious. I'm gonna stop doing that. I felt a little impassioned about something, and I really wanted to come on here and discuss that with you guys because I have been getting a little fed up with some comments that I'm reading on here lately. Okay, and I just wanted to give my 2 cents about this. So I just finished watching Cora Vintager Tacky's video on her Natasha Denona palette review. And in the comments, okay, because I always read the comments, it's a thing. I don't know why I do this. So I was reading the comments, and I'm seeing just comment after comment after comment of people, oh fuck no, cold day in hell when I spend that much money on an eyeshadow palette. Oh my god, you say it's the best quality ever, but is it really? It's not worth that money. And so on and so on and so on, and they're just going on and on and on about how it's not worth the money, she's lying, she's just trying to get people to spend $230 something on an eyeshadow palette, blah 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 blah. And this isn't the first time that I've seen comments like this on this particular palette and other palettes. You know, I've seen it on Viseart palettes, I've seen it on Tom Ford palettes, I've seen it on videos where somebody is like, oh, look at my Louis Vuitton bag, and in the comments people are like, it's just a freaking bag, why you spend that much money? I even get these comments on my own videos. If you're blind, why do you spend that much money on makeup? If you can't really see the products, why do you spend that much money on makeup? Why do you even own that much makeup? Why do you even own makeup at all? I'm coming on here to say something, okay? And that is, it's none of your fucking business what somebody spends their money on. It is none of your business. You are entitled to your opinion. That is totally 100% fine. I'm not saying that people aren't allowed to have their opinions. That's the beautiful thing about opinions. Everybody's entitled to have one, but it doesn't mean it's right. It's not a fact, it's an opinion. And even if you want to comment and say, you know what, that's a little pricey for me, but I'm glad to hear that it's worth the money. Or even if you just want to simply say, that's a lot of money. But when people get really, really nasty, to the point where they almost make it personal, you draw the line there. You know, you're crossing a line into a rude, bitchy territory. I mean, right now, I'm not really talking about when somebody comments and they're like, oh, you're ugly. Like, to me, personally, I don't give a shit if somebody calls me ugly. Like, okay, whatever, that's a childish, immature type of comment. That doesn't bother me whatsoever. But when you comment and tell me, like, oh, you spend too much money on makeup, who the hell are you? Like, who are you to freaking say that to me? That is none of your business what I spend my money on. Maybe I don't spend any of my money on it. Maybe my mom is a friggin' gazillionaire and she buys all this shit for me. That is none of your business. And if Cora wants to go and spend $7,000 on eyeshadow palettes for the rest of her life, every freaking day she wants to just make it rain with her little dollar bills all over eyeshadow palettes, that is her choice. She is entitled to do that. This is just like one of those pet peeves of mine, you know? Like my friend Meg, okay, my good friend Meg, she just bought the Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette, and she did it in the installments, okay? Which makes it a lot more affordable. And she got this palette, and me personally, I have no plans on buying that palette. I mean, I'm intrigued by it, but I have no plans on realistically buying that palette. Not because of the price. I mean, it is pricey. There's no argument about that. It's a pricey palette. But that's not why I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it because there are just too many freaking shadows in it, and I get very overwhelmed by that many shadows. I mean, it's a big reason why I never use my Lorac Mega Pro palettes. It's just too many. Too many for me. It's just a thing that I have. I think it's actually something to do with the whole visual impairment thing. I get overwhelmed by it. That's why I'm not buying that palette. That is my opinion. I'm not going to begrudge somebody or penalize somebody because they bought that palette. You know, I'm not sitting here telling Meg because I'm choosing not to buy it. I'm not sitting there telling her, oh, you're a fucking moron for spending that much money on a freaking palette. It's none of my business what she wants to spend her money on. You might be sitting there in your head saying, oh my god, what a fucking moron. But that's not your place to comment and say, you're a fucking idiot for spending that much money on a palette. Because you know what? Tomorrow you might turn around and spend that much money on a bag because that's what's important to you. You know what I'm saying? That is what's important to you, and that does not make it wrong for you. It doesn't make it wrong for her. It doesn't make it wrong for anybody. I need to cover my hair because it's disgusting. That's why I'm wearing a hood. And I mean, people are going to say what they're going to say. I'm not... I know I'm not going to stop people from making asshole comments. I get that. But I just had to come on here and say it because, especially with this Natasha Denona palette floating around, I'm seeing this a lot. And I mean, we all know it's an expensive palette. Nobody is coming on here and saying, oh yeah, $239. This is chump change. Everybody can afford this. Nobody's saying that. Everybody understands that this is an expensive palette. You know, like, we all get it. No, you don't need to say it a million freaking times. We know it's expensive. And you don't have to buy it. But you don't need to criticize somebody else because they did. I don't know. All I'm saying is to just think. Just think before you say some shit, because you don't like it when somebody says that to you. That's all. I have new videos coming soon. I will do that soon. And how many times can I say soon? I will talk to you guys later. Ta-ta.